Hey guys, welcome to my first project. This will be looking at arm angle tipping by pitchers in the 2024 season. And to start off, my project goal with this was to find pitchers who have different arm angles on differing pitches that could be seen as pitch tipping. The project purpose for hitters is to recognize the incoming pitches before the ball is released. That way, the hitters can have an extra tenth of a second they could use to jump on pitches for better batted results. And for pitchers to identify weak points in their pitching delivery. Also could be used to identify pitches that might have good movement but not great results against batters due to the lack of pitch tunneling. Some data I used Ply Baseball data to extract every pitch from the 2024 MLB season and computed each pitcher's average arm angle by pitch type. This is to ensure clean data. To ensure clean data, I filtered out extreme outliers and excluded any non-pitcher appearances. When I first pulled the data, there was a lot of position players on the very extremes in the different arm angles. So got rid of those, and especially since we're not seeing position players too often, and even then, it's not in high leverage situations. It's not worth taking a real deep dive in them. And also, most of them have too low of a pitch count to really use. So from there, um, for each pitcher, I identified their highest and lowest mean arm angle values and calculated the difference between them. This spread quantifies how much of a pitcher's arm slot varies across pitches, highlighting those most likely to tip their offerings. So I did have a data set with every pitcher who pitched a pitch in the 2024 season, but here are 20 active players with the highest pitch arm angle differences. Um, I did get rid of some players who had higher arm angles, but some pitchers, but they aren't signed with an MLB team for the 2025 season, and those pitchers did not perform well at all. They were below average in every statistical category. So decided to keep them off to really show some more important names like Devin Williams and Max Fried at the bottom. And Luis Gil is also a very interesting case study that I did not get into this video, but he is someone to look into as well. So my first example, Eric Miller. He had a high whiff percentage at the 85th percentile and great strikeout percentage at 92nd percentile for 2024. He also had but he did have a low chase percentage with a 10th percentile in MLB. So, as a pitcher and for the player development department, you would want to focus on achieving the same arm angle for both the fastball and the changeup. Their current difference in arm angle is 21 degrees between the two pitches. Tunneling these two pitches will lead to a higher chase percentage and less walks, which he did rank second percentile in walk percentage, which is not very good, but overall, he was actually a pretty good pitcher as a rookie. So for batters, you want to pick up on Miller's arm slot as the arm swings forward. Um, just sit and wait on your preferred pitch of the two, because knowing Miller, he will likely provide the walk if your pitch just isn't there for you, especially being second percentile in walks. And this guy was a three pitch guy, but the most of his pitches coming from fastball and changeups with 50% and 34% respectively. And here on the right, I have provided a graph that I made on Python using the data that I collected to really just show what the data shows for what his arm angle is, with the green line being his forcing fastball and the red line being his changeup. And then in the graph, I also have the pitch's movement and induced break. Everything goes arm side with this guy, especially the changeup, just a normal um, changeup moving arm side. And yes, so here is for the batters as well. This is just kind of to see how the arm angle looks in real time. Because you could show the data and say, oh, hey, this guy has this amount of arm discrepancy. But unless you see it in person, you don't know if it's actually feasible to look at and predict what the pitch will be in real time. So I think this is a good representation of what you can see real time. On the left is the changeup with his low release. He seems very calm and fluid throwing the changeup, and you can really expect to see that arm side movement. While on the fastball, he had a lot more he was a lot more animated in his throwing, and especially his torso tilt was heavily leaning towards the third base side. So as a batter, I think you could pick up that discrepancy pretty well, especially with his whole body just twisting over. And so that is definitely something you want to look for when facing Eric Miller. For my second example, I have Brendan Little. Although he did not qualify to be ranked in the 2024 season through Baseball Savant, he would have been in the 75th percentile for whiffs, but he would have also been in a 30 percentile or worse for chase percentage, strikeout percentage, and walk percentage. So, as a pitcher and for the PD department, focus on sound mechanics for both the sinker and the knuckle curve. I'll be showing here shortly what how his mechanics aren't the same for each pitch. The current difference in arm angle is about 15 degrees between the two pitches, which is better than the 21 degrees from earlier, but not great, obviously. And tunneling these pitches could definitely lead to a higher chase percentage, strikeout, and less walks. For batters, here you want to again pick up on his arm slot. And in the 2025 season, although it's a small sample size, he is off to a really great start. He's 97th percentile or better in chase, whiffs, and strikeouts, which is kind of crazy. But again, small sample size. But he still walks quite a bit. I believe he was 30th percentile in walks. So just wait on your pitch again. Don't be giving them all these chase and whiffs. Um, so the sinker, he's a three pitch kind of pitcher. His sinker has a 57% usage and his knuckle curve 32%. And again, on the right, we have the induced break from his pitches with that knuckle curve really falling off the table. And the sinker moving arm side, just kind of a little bit like a changeup, but obviously with the extra velocity and run. And here's a live look of the pitches. So on the left, we have his sinker. And as you can see, his glove flares out and his body is a lot more spread out and open. That's likely what leads to the arm side run. But as a batter, that is something that you could pick up on. Seeing how he's more kind of relaxed looking when he's throwing the ball and more wide open. While on his knuckle curve, he's really more over the top on it, and he tucks his glove straight down to really emphasize that snapping motion on that knuckle curve to really help it fall off the table. So as a batter, that's something you definitely want to look out for. So next, for my third example, I have Tommy Cannell. Don't know exactly how to pronounce his name. I'm sorry. Although he did not qualify to be ranked in the 2024 season through Baseball Savant, he would have been in the 95th percentile for whiffs and above average in chase and strikeout percentage. So, for as a pitcher and for the PD department, focus on similar arm angle and delivery for both the fastball and changeup. I'll be showing shortly what I mean by that. Because the arm angle difference is 13 degrees. And since he is a two-pitch pitcher, the delivery for both pitches should really be crisp and tunnel well together. I know he's been in the league for a long time, but he could be in the league that much longer if he really focuses on tunneling. Again, for batters, pick up on his arm slot, especially for being a two-pitch pitcher. He actually has really great numbers, but that probably comes as well with a lot of experience that he's had in the league. He will hit his spots and change your eye level regularly. So just do not chase. He has a pretty high walk percentage as well, the same as the previous two pitchers. So the changeup has a 57% usage and the fastball 32. Again, basically a two-pitch pitcher. And on the right, again, I have his movement profile and arm angle. So for the batter, the main thing to look at is kind of his body and again, his animation of when he throws the pitches. On his changeup, he'll look smooth, crisp, s- normal changeup. Let's see, how did it move? Yep, arm side movement, as almost all changeups are. Um, and yeah, that'll be a standard looking pitch. But for his fastball, he will be a lot more animated and tilt his head and torso to his left, to his glove side a lot more. This could be because he's might be a little bit older and he really wants to keep that velocity on that fastball. But just be on the lookout for that. He will be a lot more animated, and especially with him being a two-pitch pitcher, you can really just sit and wait on what you want in the location you want, especially given his high walk percentage. But yeah, that's the end of my first project. If you made it this far, thanks for watching, and I will be working on more projects ASAP. So keep a lookout for all those projects. Thanks again.